Hi everyone, welcome back to the Wisdom of Everything channel. In the previous episode, you learned about the productive habits. Habits that contribute to your productivity, or the effectiveness of your productive effort. And is measured in time to produce output quantity and output quality. If you haven't watched this episode yet, then click on the card at the top, or just go to our channel and watch the full playlist of this video series. In this episode, you will learn more about the seventh category and letter of the word Swaropsi, namely the spiritual habits.
Woohoo!
The seventh category of the word Swaropsi is about the spiritual goals, habits, and skills. When you think about spirituality, you probably inevitably also think about religions and their religious rituals. Or about philosophical existential questions related to the existence of our universe, or questions such as who or what we are. Well, these are indeed somewhat tied to the invisible realm of spirituality. Or what Sam Harris would describe as the generation of unusual states of consciousness. Although people often turn to religion to achieve this, these efforts also lend themselves to meditation or even psychedelic drugs. However, the pity is that the vast majority of today's schools of religious thought are claiming that their brand of spirituality is the one and only kind, trying to hold a monopoly on spirituality. But while they offend other believers as to adhere to wrong beliefs, and sometimes violently try to convince others to their way of thinking, in reality, all beliefs are just an interpretation of a perception of reality. Or in the eyes of a magician, an illusion. So, depending on the interpretation and the perception of your reality, it will result in a different belief. And a belief that has the power to determine the result of your life, because it influences how you think, feel, and act. We may not underestimate the power our belief has on our lives. The power of belief is even so powerful that just a sugar pill can heal people's treatments, also known as the placebo effect. But there is also the opposite effect, namely the nocebo effect, where negative thinking, expectations and beliefs negatively affect our outcome. Even though it was also just a sugar pill. But this nocebo effect does not only play a role in the medical world. It actually has a serious impact on our entire life. Most of us, over many years, have developed a set of unproductive belief patterns, such as, I am not worthy enough. I am not creative. I am stupid. I am not confident, and so on. All of which are illusionary beliefs co-created by society, our environment, past experiences, and many more factors, that eventually have become ingrained in our system, leading us to unconsciously fulfill the undesired prophecy. A self-fulfilling prophecy that results in a situation where we feel unsatisfied, unhappy, and experience some kind of separation and disconnection to our true natural self. So, when you want to change your unfortunate reality and your bad habits, it is very important to change the perception of your identity by challenging your current beliefs, creating a belief system that is aligned with your desired identity and destiny, and work on habits that reinforce it, so you can habitually practice to become that hero version of yourself. Otherwise, you will still hold on to those unproductive beliefs and thoughts that determine your behavior, and as a result, your current situation and reality. For example, let's imagine that you want to become more productive. But every day you wake up energyless because you fail to have a good night's sleep. As a result, you start to think and say I'm a bad sleeper. And then, if you hold on to that belief, your brain will help you with sleeping bad every day. And so your dream to become more productive and earn more money or receive that promotion seems to get further away. Now, what if you understand by now that that belief is an illusion that has been magically created over time, but that you have the power to change it? And so, you start to say to everyone that you are a good sleeper instead of a bad one. You learn about sleep and work on habits that help you sleep better. And to increase the speed of the process, you even start with performing a daily visualization meditation, where you visualize yourself sleeping like a baby and getting up massively energetic. Soon, after some time, your reality will be different. However, shifting your beliefs in the right direction might help you realize your goals. But you might still experience an unhappy, meaningless life. Instead, spirituality is also about finding your bigger purpose that feels true to yourself, so you can live a meaningful and happy life. But how do you find that purpose? Well, as Aristotle would say, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. So the quest to your purposeful life starts with understanding who you are today, and who you want to become. Therefore, you could, for example, consider taking a personality test. Or answer the question of Stephen R. Covey: how do you want to be remembered at your own funeral? This question lets you think about what you really find important in life. Besides that, you can also make a personal good to great strategy, based on the hedgehog concept from the author Jim Collins, where you look at 3 basic questions. What are your talents or things in which you can be the best at? What are you deeply passionate about? And what will provide you with the economic means to live the life you want? And for those that want something more comprehensive, you can use Swarovski and basically do the same thing, which we will cover in future episodes. So, to wrap up, one of the Swarovski habits you can work on this year are the spiritual habits. Habits that concern your belief system and the formation of a desired identity who fulfills a bigger purpose in life which feels true to oneself, so you can live a happy, fulfilling, and meaningful life. In the next episode, you will learn about the last letter and category of the Swarovski framework, namely the innovative or creative goals and habits. Just hit the subscribe button to be updated so you don't miss any video. Thank you for watching. And remember, enjoy your day, get wiser, and help us spread the words of wisdom by liking, sharing, and subscribing.